SHAZAM! We just got another great DC movie. SHAZAM is the latest film in the DC extended universe, if that universe still even exists. I don't know. You probably don't know. Does anyone know? No? And it stars Zachary, Levi, Asher Angel, Jack Dylan Grazer, and Mark Strong. Now, the first thing I want to mention is that this film is directed by David F. Sandberg, who last did the horror films Lights Out and Annabelle Creation. I'm a big fan of the former, not so much the latter. But I just want to point out how incredible it is that this guy was making short films on YouTube like 5 years ago, and now he's just made an $80 million superhero movie. And not just any superhero movie, this one feels really unique and full of heart, and for that, I am incredibly thankful. SHAZAM sees a young, rebellious orphan named Billy Baston get bestowed magic powers by an ancient wizard that turn him into kind of like a godlike grown man every time he says the word SHAZAM. It's a whack setup, and whatever issues I have with the movie lie primarily in that opening stretch. But once you have this boy in a man's body with superpowers doing exactly what a boy in a man's body with superpowers would be doing, it's a fucking blast. First up, I just need to cover how outstanding Zachary Levi is in this role. The childish energy that he's harnessed is so charismatic and so engaging, and the way that he and Grazer kind of play off each other is what really makes this movie. Honestly, it's so great seeing a superhero movie that wants to spend so much time just playing with how fun it would be to be a superhero or to be best friends with a superhero. There's obviously a great power, great responsibility element that comes into play later on thanks to Mark Strong's delightfully goofy villain. God, I love Mark Strong! But until then, this movie uses the familiarity of the origin story and then blows it wide open by just letting these kids be kids, and it's great. The whole supporting cast actually feels really essential here, not only because Billy's foster family builds so much empathy for Billy himself, but also because of how essential the theme of finding family is to the overall story. The whole movie is just so thematically clear, and while that does make the first 30 minutes just really dense with explaining characters and the magic and all that stuff, I can kind of get past how clunky that is because it pays off so beautifully in the end. SHAZAM as a whole just seems to get better and better as it goes along because the writing keeps stacking the themes against each other so that when the payoffs happen, they pay off several threads at once, and I think that that is going to be really emotionally satisfying for most people that see this movie. I mean, I know it was for me. There's some really exciting action here too, and Sandberg was 100% the right choice for a superhero movie that so openly explores being a part of the digital age. Really, I don't think I've seen a superhero movie this focused on the everyday people on the street since The Dark Knight Rises, or maybe Wonder Woman if I kind of stretch the meaning of people on the street. And I think the fact that SHAZAM is so focused on putting those people into the action scenes and making our hero have to rescue them or help them, save them, whatever, that's why the action comes out so engaging. I do wish that the directing and cinematography was as lavish at times as other films in the DCEU, and I still think that we're a long way off seeing another superhero movie quite as creative as Nolan and Raimi's movies, but I think that SHAZAM is a step in the right direction. I think there's a promising future for this series, and based off the movie we already have, it still feels incredibly special. I'm like 100% sure that SHAZAM is 12-year-old me's favorite movie ever, and I think that's because it's a superhero movie that's trying to say, you know what? Having superpowers is really awesome. And I think it's great that we have a movie in this space that wants to say that in the way that SHAZAM does. Sure, I think it could have had another draft or two and been more consistently visually creative, but what we have here is a movie that kind of feels thematically brave within this genre, and because of where it chooses to go, it just has so much heart. And for me, heart counts for more than anything else. So those are my thoughts on Shazam. Have you seen it yet? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you like this video? Well, of course you did. You can subscribe to Breaking Banter down there somewhere, as well as my other channel, Loverboy Media, over there somewhere. You can also follow me on Twitter at Loverboy Media and on Instagram at Breaking Banter. And of course, if you do really want to help support this channel, you can support on Patreon. Thank you so much to anyone doing that already. You guys are amazing. Everyone who watches these videos, you're all incredible. And I will see you guys in the next one.